Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute and I just want to say a special welcome to those of you that are new here. Remember to hit that red subscription button down below and join this wonderful online platform of like-minded men and women. And to those of you that are not new here, thank you so much, guys, for your continued support. I really appreciate. You have no idea how much your support really means to me, because that just means that whatever content I'm putting out here, it's making sense to someone out there, and that's just what has been my hope for this channel. And so thank you so much, guys, for your continued support. However, I just want to continue making this appeal that if there's a video that you feel you relate to or you like, please remember to leave those thumbs up on my videos so that you can just help to increase the visibility of those videos that you like, and also the channel in the long run. Okay, so today's topic was motivated, or I don't want to use the word inspired, because what I'm about to say is not something inspiring, of course, and it was motivated by the recent trends in our society, in our communities. And yeah, so recently I've noticed that there've been so many deaths that have been reported, and it's not just the usual deaths, because I believe that people die every day and people are born every day, but there's something unique about these deaths that are being reported. It's either people are killing each other or taking their own lives, committing suicide. And so I've noticed this horrific trend in our society. A week doesn't go by without something being reported of that nature, that someone killed someone in this particular area, took their own lives, and the like. And one of the things that really shocked me was the recent story of this young couple that I don't really know the details of the story, but from what I gathered from hearsay, I believe that apparently this young couple had a fight, um, and then the young man strangled the young lady to death, and then he ended up taking his own life. And I've been I've just been observing for a while now, like there've been trends of these sort of killings, and usually it's couples that kill each other, and it's really sad hearing about such things. And it's not just today's topic is not really just focused on that young couple that, may their souls rest in peace, the young couple that died, but really just similar stories that just stories that are similar to that young couple's tragic ending. And I can just imagine what their parents are going through right now, and I really just sympathize with them, because being a parent myself, I can't imagine going through such a thing. You send your child to school hoping for the best, thinking that your child will have a bright future, sacrificing all that you can to ensure that your child has that good life. And so it's really sad. I really sympathize with the families of not just the young couple, but of the many killings that have been reported recently. And yeah, so like I said, this is something uninspiring. And so today's topic was really just because of what has been happening. So it's something that I thought of talking about, because even just the age groups that are involved in these types of killings, mostly it's young people. And on this platform, I endeavor to, just reach out to young people out there and just share some of my life stories, some of the little knowledge that I've gathered in my life experiences, and hoping that I can really just inspire someone out there to just do better for their lives, and um, make the right decisions for themselves. With the onset of social media, communication has really become easy, and so this is not something new, but I believe that these things used to happen even in the past, but because communication was hard back then. It was some of these things were not really reported, and as a society would not know about some of these vices happening among us. But in today's world, it's really easy to know of what's going on in other countries around us, and just whatever is going on in the world. This whole thing is just it's an inspiring. But then I decided to make a topic um, about it, because I feel that it's something that I need to put out there. So the topic for today is how can you find your purpose, and how you can find your purpose, and how you can really just take ownership of your own life. And so I know there are so many videos out there that talk about purpose, this and that, and I just thought that I should throw in my 2 cents of how someone can realize their purpose here on earth, and just take ownership of their own lives. And yeah, so I think I had this conversation with two of my nieces, and with whatever is happening with the youths today, I think for me, what I've noticed is that it's the world now is different from the world in which I grew up in. From Times are different from the time in which I grew up in. I remember back then, there weren't so much going on with young people. Life was more like spelled out for you. It's like life was programmed for you. So you knew, it was back then. I remember it was just about school. You knock off from school, you play with your friends. So most of our time was spent around people. Let me just put it like that: around people, doing activities and the like. But in today's world, I've noticed that a lot of young people are lonely, and not just young people. A lot of people are lonely, and people have lost this sense of purpose in their lives. It seems as though people have given up on life, and as a result, for me, I feel that probably that could be the reason why you know um, it has made it so easy for people to take their own lives, and also to take other people's lives, for people to just kill each other. You don't People no longer value life. It's about living in the moment, living in the here and now. Nothing wrong with that, but I think life as a whole is bigger than that. Life is bigger than the here and now. And so I just want to talk about how you can find your sense of purpose here on earth, and also how you can take ownership of your own life. And so for me, when it comes to the meaning of words, I usually just run to Google and just type in purpose, meaning, and a few things come up. And one of the things, I'll just paraphrase what I read, because I don't have usually when I'm making these videos, I don't really write down my script, and I just sit, you know take a moment to think and start shooting. And so what I gathered on what purpose means, it says that purpose is having a reason, having a why, the reason why someone exists, the reason why something is done. And ownership just means having possession over something. Yeah, having control, taking control over something. And in legal terms, that is having legal control over something, as in you have the legal backing, the papers and stuff, that thing belong to you. And so that is ownership. So I thought of doing these topics separately, but I thought that I would just repeat myself if I did that, and so I decided to combine them. So let's start. How can you find your purpose here on earth? I think the first thing that I'll mention is that in order for us to find our purpose, I'll still go back to identity. We need to know who we are and where we came from. And I remember when I was young, before I even became a Christian, I would usually, when I'm alone, I would usually think, really hard about life, I'd usually think about, I would sometimes like in the night and I'd be looking at the sky, looking at the stars, looking at the moon, and just wonder like what's out there, where we came from, where are we going even? Like I would have such thoughts, such wildest thoughts in my mind. And I remember one time I asked, I think one of the elders around me, I can't remember if it was my mom or if it was my cousin or if it was my dad, I can't remember. But I remember asking them, this deep philosophical question about life. So, where did we come from? Where are we going? What is the essence of life? Like, what's the purpose? If at the end of it all, people die, and I just couldn't like grasp my mind around the whole idea that people are born and then people die. I just didn't understand a thing. I only started understanding um, what my purpose is when I became a Christian. And so when I became a Christian, it was like all the questions that I had were answered. But for me, I still have questions, and one of my goals, like one of my motivations to make it to heaven is because I still have questions in my heart of hearts that when I get there, I want to ask, to say, there are things that I want to ask, things that I still don't understand. And so when I became a Christian, I started learning about, oh, okay, so we are a creation of someone. We are not just born into this world, but there's God out there who created us and put us on earth. I read about the Bible, God's plan, God's plan of redemption. And if you're a Christian, I think we know these things. And so when I started learning that, it simply just, it settled me within. It made me um, just have that zeal for life, just had that new, it added that new meaning to my life. And so that really just helped me to appreciate, to appreciate my life and also the lives of others. And so yeah, purpose begins with knowing where you came from. And it does not just end about knowing where you came from. It also has to do with, okay, right, you were created in God's image and man sinned, then Christ came to redeem us. What next? How should you live every day? How should your everyday look like? And so this brings me to this thought that, because we were created in God's image, and we are here now, and what is our purpose? What is our everyday purpose? And for me, I believe that a life lived selfishly is an unhappy life. Most of us are in the pursuit of happiness. Right now I'll just prioritize myself. I self-love. There's so many teachings out there about self-love, and for me, I don't really resonate with most of the information out there about self-love, because I think self-love from self-love is really not what we think it is. It's not really about loving oneself, putting yourself first. The word that is supposed to be there is self-care. Self-love and self-care are two different things. I think the Bible does not really promote self-love. The Bible promotes self-care. When someone is a baby, when there's a baby around, that baby um that baby is innocent. The mind is not fully developed, and so people are obligated to carry that baby throughout life, to guide that child, to protect that child from harm and danger. But when you reach that maturity stage, people put their tools down, and it's up to you to carry yourself. And for me, that's self-care. It's up to you to carry yourself, learn how to take care of yourself, learn how to bathe yourself, learn how to dress yourself. It's just those hygienic things, and just being responsible for yourself and also for the people around you. For me, that is self-care, that is self-love. And self-love is not this notion that is out there that you need to put yourself first and others last. And I say that the reason why a lot of people in today's world are living miserable lives, feel unfulfilled. Someone can have all the money in the world, but they still feel empty inside. It's because of this notion of self-love, which makes people selfish. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is self-care. And so yeah, so coming back to why are we here now, like what's the purpose of us being here after being created? Why is God still keeping us? And this brings me to this thought that, no man is an island. When you look around, each and every one of us, come from somewhere. We have families where we come from, we have communities where we come from, we have a society where we come from, we have a country where we come from, we have a province where we come from, and it gets bigger and bigger. We are part of this global community. And so so each one of us is surrounded by people, right? And so the reason why we are here is so that we can love each other. I know that sounds so simplistic, sounds so and I can just guess what's running in your mind right now, that I'm trying to make it sound as if life is as simple as drinking water, but it really is just that. The reason why we are here is so that we can love each other. And I don't mean that love that back then, when we would be asked to define what love is, then would give definitions like love is a strong feeling, that fiery passion that you feel when you fall in love for the first time. And those would be definitions that we'll give, and having been at the age where I am right now, I know that that is not love. Love is action. Love is a verb. Love is a doing word. Love is commitment, And so we have all these people around us. And when we say we love the people around us, it means that we must commit ourselves to those people. We must love the people around us indeed. And so, when you think of life in those lines, that just helps us to have that bigger sense of purpose about life. However, when you do the opposite and just decide to live on your own in the Western world, in America and Europe, all these countries in the West and probably in the East, they have this culture of individualism, and slowly, as African countries, we've also adopted into that culture of individualism, whereby it's just about you. It's no longer about collectivism. People are no longer depending on each other. Let me just put it like that. But you find that a society functions because we each bring our different talents and abilities to the table. However, the moment it just becomes about one individual, I think for people that run companies, for people that run businesses, for people that just run any formal organization out there, they know that as an individual alone, you can't do everything alone. You need helping hands. In organizations or companies, they have departments of different specialities, and that just helps that organization to function. And I think even as a society, as individuals, we need those departments in our lives in order for us to function. Just like our bodies have got different parts. Even the Bible gives this analogy to say our bodies have got different parts, but the hand can't function on its own. This my right hand depends on my left hand. It depends on my leg. My head, even though the brain is there and everything, my head depends on my body. So there's that interdependentness. But then the world right now is preaching, or as Africans, we are trying to adopt this Western culture of individualism, and as a result, people are becoming lonely when there are people around. I mean, why should you feel lonely when there are people around? And this brings me back to self-love. This notion of self-love also promotes pride, which is a sin. You can have friends around, but because you feel you are the because you feel you're the queen of your life, you're the princess of your life, you feel like you can't get in touch with your friends. You want your friends to get in touch with you. You die alone at the end of the day. So life really just makes sense with people around. And when we when we love people genuinely and are just responsible for the people around us, and just love people in action, just be of service to other people. Actually, oh my god, the word that I was looking for is service. Be of service to other people. Love is service. Love is an action of the word. It's not something that you sit. I remember back then would write each other love letters. It's not something that you sit, you write an essay of, love poems, I love you, this and that. No, love is service. And service is what really just makes life wonderful, and it helps us to have that sense of purpose. I think when you ask when we if you were to take a survey out there and um ask people about what they really want to do, I think everything that people will tell you out there, it all just sums up into one thing: you want to help other people. So all of us have got this edge of wanting to help people, right? And so I think that's what makes life meaningful. That's what makes one's life have a sense of purpose. However, for young people today have lost that sense of purpose, because firstly they are detached from God. Young people today don't value going to church. Let me just put it out there. They don't value going to church, and as a result, they've become detached. They don't know God in their lives, And secondly, young people today are disobedient to their parents. They feel that young people today just want to learn from their mistakes. They want to experiment life and make mistakes and learn from there. They want to listen from people that have lived through that same life so that they can minimize their own mistakes. Sometimes it's good to learn from other people's experience so that we can minimize our mistakes through life, because some mistakes are tragic. You will not come back from all the mistakes that you make in life. So some of the mistakes are really just tragic, and so if they can be avoided, it's better to avoid them by listening to the wisdom of the elders. And yeah, this is the problem that I've seen with young people today. They are not listening to anyone. They are they are learning everything on social media. They are learning things from these rappers, these musicians. Those are their teachers. Those are their fashion icons. They are role models. They are mentors. Because at the end of the day, what the Bible says, by beholding you become. So the thing that you spend time with, the things that we see, the things that we listen to, those are the things that really just influence us to be who we are. And so it's really sad. And if there's a young person out there, I just want to encourage you to say that it's never too late, to get your life on track. it's never too late to you know, take time to know God in your life. I think most of us are affiliated to different churches or denominations, whatever you want to call it. You need to have you need to have faith in life. You need to believe in something greater. You need to believe in God. And that just helps to give us that sense of purpose, because it helps us to understand where we came from, first of all, which helps us to have that identity, that belonging. It helps us to understand why we are here now, what is our purpose now, what are we supposed to be doing now before this short list of life that God has given us comes to an end. And so coming back to ownership, so like I said, taking back ownership, how you can take back ownership of your own life. What did I mean by that? I've noticed that these days, as people, we are easily influenced. We are easily influenced with the trending culture, with the online culture, with the culture out. Like, there's this culture which is so powerful and so forceful on us, such that most of us tend to get lost. Culture whereby if you're not part of something that is trendy or popular, then it means that you are left out. You feel left out. If there's a big event coming up, and if you don't, for example, I'll give an example of the Stanbic Music Festival. So this is like one of the major events that happen in Zambia. And so if you don't go to that festival, most of us feel left out, because at the end of the day we'll be seeing our friends who went there, they took pictures. There's just this culture in our atmosphere whereby if you're not part of something, then you feel left out. And so there's that there's that more like conflict of interest, because there's you, who you really are, and then there's this culture that you have to be part of, that you have to be involved in order for you to be accepted, in society, in order for you to feel that you belong. However, I want to say that, live life on your own terms. Live life on your own terms and just take ownership of your own life. Move at your own pace, pace yourself. Don't try to do everything that everything that everyone else is doing. Let me just say that it's exhausting, and a lot of people have ended up losing themselves in the process. And so the reason why I started to even just come up with the topic of taking ownership of your own life is mainly because I've seen people losing themselves in these trends that are going on, in this culture that is there in our atmosphere right now. You may think, oh, I've made a decision to, it's me who has made the decision to be out there. People are doing things that they don't love. People are doing things that don't even resonate with them. People are doing things that are against their principles, their beliefs, because they want to be part of this culture. They want to be part of this popular culture out there. And so I just want to say that, take ownership of your own life. Do not be easily influenced with what's going on. And these days it's easy to know what's going on, because I'm a corporate as well. I'm usually on my phone. I'm usually on my phone. Let me just say it. It's a habit that I want to not really get rid of. It's a bad habit. Let me just put it like that. It's a bad habit, and I want to reduce my screen time and just be present in my life and in other people's lives as well, in the lives of my loved ones as well. And so it's so easy to learn of the trends, the popular culture, of the events, because most of the times we spend our time on the phone. And so I just want to encourage someone out there that you need to take ownership of your own life. You need time, to just think through your life, think about who you really are. Do that self introspection. Think about who you really are, what you believe in, what are your deepest convictions about life, and where you want to see yourself. Just take time to think about some of these things. You know are some of these things that you're part of really just saving you? Are they saving your soul? Are they feeding into your soul, or probably they are sucking the life out of you? So those are some of the questions that you really need to just ask yourself before you quickly jump into this popular culture or whatever is trending. So we need to just live a meaningful life with purpose, and just take ownership of our own lives. So I think I'll end here today, because I don't want to go on rambling. If something else comes up in my mind regarding today's topic, I think I'll make this video as part 1, and I'll make the other video as part 2, just talking about the same thing. So if this video is something that has resonated with you, remember to give me that big thumbs up. That there's that like button, it's a thumbs up. So just click there, and just like this video in order to support this channel. I think for now that's the only way in which you can help support my channel, by liking my videos, by subscribing if you're new here. Yeah, and so when you like my videos, it will just help with the YouTube algorithms to increase the visibility of the video and the channel as well. And that is how we can grow this channel. So thank you so much, guys, for taking your time to listen to this video. I really appreciate, and I'll see you in my next video.